Last time, Shadow refused to leave. Jackie accepted him. Together, they survived seasons that would have broken almost anyone. Spirit fledged. And then the storms came. Here is what 45 inches of snow looks like on a nest 145 feet in the air. It looks like an eagle may be under there. Completely buried, not moving until she hears the sound of those pesky ravens.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Scape News and to episode 4 of The Nest. This is the one. This is the one that we've all been waiting for. If you've been following the series from the beginning, this is the one we've been building towards since episode 1. The storm season. The moment that Jackie and Shadow turned from beloved local story into something that made international news and brought more than 15,000 people to a live stream at the same time. First ever for this niche. We are also covering the 2025 breakthrough, Sunny and Gizmo, and the moment when the threat to this nest stopped coming from the sky. If you're new here, we strongly recommend starting from episode 1, but hey, you can always follow along from here. Do us a big favor though, if you would. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell for all notifications. Like the video, share it with a friend, and if you're so inclined, consider a membership. All these things help tremendously. Thank you so much, and as always, be safe.
In the winter of 2022 into 2023, a series of atmospheric rivers swept through Southern California. Not one storm, not two, multiple systems, arriving one after another, each one dropping more precipitation than the last. The kind of winter that meteorologists describe as historic. The kind that fills reservoirs, closes highways, and buries mountain communities under feet of snow. Big Bear Lake received 45 inches of snow. Jackie and Shadow had eggs in the nest. The eggs had been laid in January. Jackie had laid the first egg on January 11th, the second on January 14th. The incubation period for bald eagle eggs is between 35 and 40 days, which meant that when the storms arrived, Jackie and Shadow were deep in incubation. The eggs were not yet ready to hatch, and Jackie was not going to leave them. Here is what friends of Big Bear Valley told the world about Jackie during those storms. Bald eagles have over 7,000 waterproof feathers covering their body. The snow that accumulates on their back does not make them wet. Under those feathers is a thick layer of down, like wearing a waterproof comforter at all times. Their body temperature is high enough to keep eggs viable even in freezing conditions. Jackie knew all of this, not in the way a person knows something, but in the way a body knows what it was built to do. She sat on those eggs for 27 hours straight during one storm. 27 hours without leaving, without eating, without moving more than necessary to keep the eggs covered. Sandy Steers, executive director of Friends of Big Bear Valley, told Fox Weather the only time she does that is when it's storming and because she doesn't want to leave the eggs uncovered, even for a few minutes with the storm. And so, she will just stay there. Shadow took his turns too. The cam watchers documented the shift changes, the moment when one eagle would stand, roll the eggs carefully, and settle back down while the other flew off briefly to eat. Shadow would rock to make sure the eggs were snugly fit into his brood pouch, the area of bare skin on his chest that allows direct body heat to reach the eggs. The cam watchers watched every shift change, every snow accumulation, every moment Jackie shook the snow from her feathers and settled back down. And they were not alone. At one point during the February storms, more than 15,000 people were watching the Big Bear Eagle cam simultaneously. Not 15,000 followers. 15,000 people watching at the same moment. Live. Together. NBC Los Angeles covered the story. Fox Weather covered it. Business Insider covered it. People who had never heard of Big Bear Valley found a cam through news articles and stayed, watching Jackie sit through conditions that should have been impossible, doing something that required no explanation and no translation. She was keeping her eggs warm, in a blizzard, 145 feet off the ground. The cam watchers who had been there for years, through the brutal seasons, through Spirit, through every empty nest, watched the new viewers arrive and felt something they recognized. The same thing they had felt the first time they found the cam. Awe. The eggs did not hatch. After everything. After 27 hours without moving. After the shift changes and the snow accumulation and the 15,000 people watching. After all of it, the eggs were not viable. Jackie and Shadow had incubated through conditions that should have been impossible. The eggs simply were not going to hatch. No storm caused it. No raven. No failure of effort or endurance. Sometimes, eggs do not hatch. The nest sat empty again. In 2023 into 2024, Jackie and Shadow tried again. 3 eggs. More storms. More incubation through brutal conditions. The 2024 season was remembered by the watching community for relentless dedication. Jackie and Shadow sitting through weather event after weather event, refusing to give up. None of the 3 eggs hatched. By February of 2024, Jackie and Shadow had laid more than 14 eggs together. 5 had hatched. 2 or 3 eaglets had survived to adulthood. They tried again. In the 2024 into 2025 season, Jackie laid 3 eggs. 3 eggs. A rare event for bald eagles, who typically lay 1 or 2. All 3 hatched. The first chick hatched on March 3rd, 2025. The second on March 4th. The third on March 8th. And then, a multi-day snowstorm hit the nest around March 13th. The first chick did not survive. Friends of Big Bear Valley named that chick Misty in honor of Kathy Misterly, a beloved longtime FOBBV volunteer who had recently passed away from cancer. The naming was a direct FOBBV decision, not a community vote, a tribute from the people who had known her. The 2 surviving chicks were named through a contest that drew more than 54,000 submissions from around the world. 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students at Big Bear Elementary School voted on the final names from a list of 30 finalists. The bigger chick, believed female based on ankle size and vocal pitch analysis, was named Sunny. The smaller chick, also believed female, was named Gizmo. Sunny fledged on June 2nd, 2025, 90 days old. Gizmo fledged on June 7th, 2025, 91 days old. Both eaglets were seen flying together over Big Bear Lake, a sight that brought tears to many longtime cam watchers. It was the first time Jackie and Shadow had fledged 2 chicks in the same season together. After 7 years of trying, after storms and ravens and empty nests and seasons that the watching community had carried like a weight they chose not to put down. 2 chicks, 1 season, both alive. Even Steve Miller of the Steve Miller Band shared the moment online, writing, "Sunny takes flight. Thanks to friends of Big Bear Valley for sharing this beautiful moment. Wishing Jackie, Shadow, and the little eaglets Sunny and Gizmo a wonderful life. May they thrive and soar." But 25 years is a long time to want something. For 25 years, before Jackie was born, before Ricky ever stayed the summer, before a single camera was ever pointed at a nest, developers have been looking at a 63-acre stretch of Big Bear Lake's north shore. They called it Moon Camp. It sat less than 1 mile from Jackie and Shadow's nest. It was the last undisturbed shoreline on the lake. Home to the rare San Bernardino flying squirrel. Home to native bird species, waterfowl, and a rare paintbrush flower listed on the federal and state endangered species lists. In September of 2025, the San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors approved a plan to build 50 custom luxury homes and a marina on that land. The board had received more than 5,000 emails from the public opposing the development. Experts had warned since the 1980s that development would cause significant detrimental impact to biological resources, including bald eagles. The approval went through anyway. The eagles had survived every storm the sky could throw at them. Nobody had thought to ask whether they could survive what was coming from the ground. Sunny and Gizmo were gone, two strong birds, climbing thermals above the San Bernardino Mountains, alive because Jackie and Shadow had refused to quit through 7 years of storms and loss and empty nests. It should have been the end of the story, the happy ending everyone had been waiting for. But 25 years of development pressure was closing in on the land around the nest. And Jackie, the first eagle ever born in Big Bear Valley, the one who came home when she didn't have to, the one who sat through 45 inches of snow on a nest 145 feet in the air and never once moved. Jackie was about to face something no storm had ever thrown at her. And this time, she would not be able to sit through it.
Well, folks, that's episode 4 of The Nest. Episode 5 is up, and I want to be honest with you. It's a hard one. Keep in mind, too, that most of this research and getting it put together was done over the last month or two, so take that as you will. But episode 5 is one that needs to be told. We'll try to have it ready next Sunday as always. Until that time, if you don't mind, please make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell, drop an eagle emoji in the comments if you are watching this series in memory of Jackie. We'll see you on episode 5, everyone. Take care, and as always, be safe. Well, folks, got a little curveball. Look, after all the research and all the clips I put together, I ended up with way more than we needed for this video. I'm not sure that I'm going to need them on the next one either, so I went ahead and left them on here because there are some really, really good ones that I forgot about. Special thanks to everyone that's helped over the years at Big Bear Valley, friends of Big Bear Valley. Without them, none of this would be possible. So again, we're just going to step away. You just want to set it and let it run. Watch it in the background. Watch it when you have a chance. There are some good clips from the past. Thanks again, and again, as always, be safe.